Put
Hey, man.
your eyes back in your head.
Popped out like flavor, Flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.
What's going on, people? What's going on, people? This is your boy, man, Mike, man. Yeah, I am here. We are here. It is football season, and you guys may be getting something on a daily basis, depending on how I feel, how the news is going, how the season is going. As the season goes on, it's going to continue to get even more crazier. Um, And you know how things are when it comes down to your boy, man, Mike, and dumbass takes, incredible takes, smart takes, and intelligent takes, whatever the takes may be, man. However, I'm feeling in that moment, you're going to get it, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, uh, whatever it is, you're going to be getting from me. So, welcome to another edition of Mad Mike in the Morning. Yes, this is a show where I'm going to be giving my morning takes throughout the entire season. Um, and I know everybody, I don't know if everybody, but um, if you did not see the press conference with Raheem Morris going over, a lot of takes that a lot of fans, uh, a lot of people are in their feelings about. And I'm going to give my takes on such matters as well as you guys kind of preview you guys of what's to come tonight, this evening, excuse me, with the originators with myself, K Styles. Hey, you never know, we may have a special guest on as well. But tonight we're going to kind of go on, this evening, we're going to go into detail as far as um, what the take is about a certain guy. And we got we got an odd conversation piece that I think you guys are find kind of hilarious. If you did not see last week's um, conversation piece about the Olympics, I don't you saw the short, so check out that short on um, that I put out. Was it yesterday? I believe it was yesterday. So check that out. This is why you need to subscribe. You get some crazy takes, some funny takes, some inspirational takes, whatever the hell we feel at that moment. So hit that subscribe button here on Man Mike Sports Atlanta Falcon Nation on the way to 10K. Yeah, in total, we're well over 10K, but I want to specifically get Mad Mike Sports at 10K so we can have um, give you guys a prize for just show our gratitude and our thanks and our appreciation for everyone that has had anything and everything to do with Mad Mike Sports. Come on and share your take, share your love for the platform and for the people like our very own Auntie Pam. Um, Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. So let's get a little roll call because I know you guys, know how we do it around here. JB, Pat Norris, Sherman Wood, Robert Ponder, Bubba Guy Birch, talented Mr. Ripley, Sonia. How you doing, lady? Um, we have uh ATL Leo, James Overton, how are you guys doing today, man? Like I said, man, it's been a crazy, incredible week and a half for myself. Um, Taking in for a little bit, but your boy Matt Mike is back stronger than ever. And like I said, man, we're gonna keep Bernard. What's going on, Bernard? And everybody that's in the chat. But let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. We're gonna get to the conversation piece right now. And we're gonna start with this particular topic. And I know you guys have seen this. Yeah, it's the safety. Yeah, it's the safety. The safety, the safety, the safety for the Atlanta Falcons. Or should I say safety? Safety. Oh, one more. Safety. And you're probably wondering why, Mike, why the hell are you saying safety? D. 3 times? I could quite possibly be singing a song that you guys are so y'all made this song go platinum. All right. Everybody that's involved with us, y'all made this song go platinum. Y'all want to hear that song? Just put some red and black if you want to hear me sing my song, okay? Because I could quite possibly sing this song, be singing this song probably, at the stadium. You know what I'm saying? Have excuse me, let me sip my coffee. But I'm singing this song probably at the, maybe at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Maybe I should be singing this song at a theater somewhere, or sitting next to T.I. and Beyonce and all that, because I do like to sing. Okay, I do like to sing, but I could be quite possibly singing this song called "I Told You So." I told you so. Yeah, could be singing that song. Okay, be singing that song real good. Look, you know what? As a matter of fact, Knight Rider, that's our new project. Okay, that's our new project. We about to put together "I Told You So" single from AFN, starring your boy Mad Mike and AFN. Yeah, we about to put this song together. So y'all about to get us a concert right here, all right here at Atlanta Falcon Nation. All right. So why, Anthony? How you doing, brother? Georgia, Texas boy, how you doing? All right. So why though? Why would I be saying? Why would I be happy? Why would Mad Mike be happy? Well, got a couple of things. All right. Let me get to this right here. So this is from Kelly Price, and this is from Raheem Morris. All right. So let me read this, guys, for you. All right. Raheem Morris says preseason finale Friday will look really similar to Saturday in Baltimore personnel-wise. He repeats that Falcons feel great about where we've seen Michael Penix and his growth from joint practices to the first preseason game to practices since. So this is what tonight, this evening's conversation is going to be about, and we're going to go in detail as far as Michael Penix is concerned. So we're going to give you our takes, and y'all know, all right, if you trust Mad Mike with your quarterback takes, and it's been quite a few times, all right, not a lot of times where Mad Mike has been completely wrong, 100% wrong, or 90% wrong, or even 80% wrong when it comes down to the quarterback position. I'm typically on point when it comes down to the quarterback. Why? Because I know I do my homework. There's not too many people that is completely obsessed with the quarterback position I am. All right. It's a guy on Twitter, and I love this guy to death, and his name is Ryan Michael. Ryan Michael is one of those guys who's just as insanely obsessed with the quarterback position that I am. Also, you can check out guys like Chase Daniel, former quarterback himself. You can follow him on Twitter. You can follow him on social media. We also have another guy too, a former Ain't. And he's one of those guys that I watch himself, and I think he's very good. It's JT O'Sullivan. He's another one of those guys that I feel is like he's just obsessed. Obviously, he played the quarterback position and on a professional level, but these guys give an amazing, I'm talking about amazing breakdowns when it comes down to that quarterback position. So Look, man, we're going to give a thorough breakdown on this quarterback position. Myself, K Styles, and like I said, you never know the type of you never know who's going to be on the show. To kind of might have a content creator, or just one of our own that's going to be talking. And another thing too, the Ladybirds are going to be coming. Right? I ain't that right, Auntie Pam. The Ladybirds, they're going to be coming. I believe it's Tuesday. They're going to give their takes on the season. So they've been doing their homework, right? We might see Larry's mom, aka Kiara. If y'all don't follow her on Twitter, you can follow her on Twitter. Hey, I might be trying to, get one of my buddies to come in and give her expertise. She hasn't done this before, but I'm really gonna kind of coerce her into doing it because I think, and for years she's helped me run and help Atlanta Falcons Nation, myself, Maggie T. Run the Atlanta Falcons Nation Facebook group, and she's one of my most wonderful friends, and Sandra Kennedy. So shout out to Sandra. She already know it. She's one of the people behind the scenes that help Atlanta Falcons Nation out. Not only with the Atlanta Falcons stuff, but Georgia Bulldog stuff, the Brave stuff. So Sandra, man, that's my heart. That's my buddy. And you may be getting a bit of her as well as so many other ladies that you've seen on the Atlanta Falcons Nation. So we're trying to, make this. We're really trying to do something different. All right, got to see the ladies. I mean, it don't hurt to see the ladies. But we're gonna be giving our take on that. But like I said, man, we're gonna give our point, our breakdown as far as Michael Penix is concerned, and also, okay, so this is another comment from him, and this one states that people want to come here, and this is a conversation that I think a lot of people probably not paying too much attention to in regards to, and this is something, again, you follow me on Twitter, this is something that I talked about. I was going to keep my eye on this Justin Simmons potential signing, and now it has become for a different reason than most. I didn't care about whether or not this is going to make this Atlanta Falcons defense 10 times better or 20 times better or whatever the case may be. I didn't care about any of that. The reason why I was focused on Justin Simmons potentially coming to the Atlanta Falcons and now eventually signing with the Atlanta Falcons was to see how things have changed in regards to how players see and view this Atlanta Falcons team. And I think that's the thing. If you look at this Atlanta Falcons all season, things have indeed changed. And one of the things, when we were going through the process of potentially hiring a guy like, if potentially hiring a guy like Bill Belichick, one of the things I was solely focused on was one thing in regards to Bill Belichick. Well, two things, but both of those guys had kind of different auras. Was one, I wanted to see how the players viewed this particular guy. All right. I wanted to see how the players viewed the Atlanta Falcons. And one of the things for years, especially in the media, we've had a lot of people. We have a lot of people, a lot of players, that they just would not come. The Falcons had a lot of money. They had a ton of money, and a lot of players would just choose other teams. I mean, there were times that we were outbid by the Saints. There were times that we were outbid by the Bucks. There were times we were outbid by pretty much every team. And then we had instances like this, and I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it, including myself, is that, players like Julio Jones, they fail to respect this organization and they pull moves the way that they pull. We've seen this before where a lot of guys will end up, you know, getting their money and then they up and leave the organization. So I wanted to see how Justin Simmons, if Justin Simmons would really buy into what Raheem Morris has, been preaching, and how these guys are kind of built. So seeing that Raheem Morris, that the Atlanta Falcons chose Raheem Morris over Bill Belichick, and that and the reasoning behind this was to see whether or not he could connect to the players. And I think that's the thing that is most promising to me personally, is not the fact that we brought in a guy like Justin Simmons. It's the fact that we won over a high quality free agent. And that right there is a huge sign for things to come, because if you don't have respect with your peers, with players, with coaches, and you can't sell not only the coaches to come here to be able to help you build a championship, I think that's one of the things that, for years that have kind of kept the Atlanta Falcons franchise in itself at a low, is because we could not win over great coaches. In certain instances, in my opinion, I saw guys like Rex Ryan, and anybody who know anything about me know I'm a huge Rex Ryan fan, because look, that 34 defense, that amoeba defense, that attacking style defense, look, I'm all for it. That dude is one of my favorite coaches of all time. And having these types of guys that wanted to come here and we failed to sign these guys, I think those one of the things that, in hindsight, that, ultimately cost us a championship. I honestly believe that, yeah, we did win a championship. We went to a championship with a Dan Quinn, but I thought we made the wrong decision to hire Dan Quinn in hindsight over Rex Ryan. I honestly believe if Rex Ryan was our head coach, we brought in Rex Ryan and somehow convinced a guy like Shanahan to continue to be our offensive coordinator, you're talking about a championship. But like I said, Rex Ryan, in my opinion, has always been a better defensive coach. He's always been one of those coaches that, as a player's coach, players love to play for him. And I think this is, if you look back and now where the Atlanta Falcons chose Bill Belichick over Raheem Morris, right now we're starting to see the fruits of those labors with the hiring or the signing of a guy like Justin Simmons. So this is the main reason as to why I believe personally the Falcons made the right decision. At the moment, when he was hired, one of the things that frustrated me was, I personally, as a fan, okay, I said to myself, why in the fucking hell are we hiring Raheem Morris? Okay, why in the hell are we hiring Raheem Morris? Because all I saw was Raheem Morris, again, as a fan, and not a guy who's looking at things analytically and schematically. I'm looking at Raheem Morris as, yep, another goddamn Dan Quinn. We're trying to go back and relive the past, and like I said, right now, I believe that Arthur Blank made the right decision. I think looking at this team right now and look at, and how the NFL and how the world has changed, essentially, is that a lot of these players, they need to be sold. I mean, if you look at how the college game has changed, to a massive effect where if you're not able to sell players on coming to your school, University of Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Oregon, big schools like that. If you can't, we saw another instance where a guy like Arch Manning, you know, Texas. Okay, Texas, they haven't won a lot of championships in a long time. So if you don't have the coaches, if you don't have the recruiters to be able to sell to these athletes these days, like you're not going to get players. And I think the Atlanta Falcons owner Arthur Blank, he understood this. He understands this. Guys like Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, Kyle Self, all these guys understand that. Like now, if you cannot sell to these players, if you cannot sell to these coaches to come in and help you build a championship, you're never going to win in NFL. So I think it was the best hire. It was the right hire to bring in Raheem Morris. Again, I was upset as a fan that we were going back and trying to relive the past and bring in Dan Quinn, because at that moment I was thinking to myself, I was like, please don't bring in none of Dan Quinn lackeys back in here. And Raheem Morris, so far, he has a plan, and his plan is working. We got guys like Justin Simmons that came in here, and he wants to play for the Atlanta Falcons. And one thing that I heard when listening to Justin Simmons is that he was sold on the players that the Atlanta Falcons already have here. That right there is extremely telling. That he was sold on the players that are already here. So it shows you, and it tells me personally, and it should tell you the exact same thing, that the NFL and the players, and we already know how this NFL top 100 works. A lot of this is being voted on by the players in the league. So when the players are sold on players, and you see a lot of these guys on the Atlanta Falcons roster and free agents are starting to come here, yeah, that right there shows me everything. So I believe that these guys are on the right paths. And like I said, Raheem Morris said in response to getting Judon and Simmons on the roster, they said a lot of things that the culture, the people gravitates towards. The players already here, new updates in the facility. So again, the Falcons, Arthur Blank is really putting, if you guys have not seen that video with Grady Jarrett, where he gave us a tour of the Atlanta Falcons facility, yeah, man, these guys are doing everything high class. I'm talking about high class, man. If you haven't been out there to the facility in itself, yeah, it is sharp. It's damn sharp. So for anybody, and one of the things I've said this time and time again, and I really don't give a shit, is that we see a lot of these content creators, we see a lot of these journalists. They said time and time again, not just a few months ago, like I said, y'all gonna hear this shit from me. Y'all gonna hear this shit from me. All right. If I get pointed out, you definitely gonna hear from me. These same content creators, just a few months ago, when Justin Fields was available for trade, when Lamar Jackson was available, quote unquote available, you guys said this man was one of the worst owner in the universe. Y'all said all of this. You guys said this. You can go back and you can look at their videos. If they haven't deleted it, you can go back and look at these videos. They said that this man was the worst owner. He needs to sell the team, all because they didn't bring in Lamar Jackson. They didn't bring in guys like Dallas Turner and all these other guys that the media love, and they put on a pedestal and all that. Y'all said all this. All right. You, the content creator, said all this. Y'all said all this stuff. So when you look at what the Atlanta Falcons are right now, man, and how Arthur has really changed a lot of these things and facility, and how the players actually want to come play for them. And then when guys are drafted here, guys like, Matthew Bergeron is a guy that was He grew up watching Mike Vick. Again, a guy like Kyle Pitts went to Mike Vick's camp. You have, I believe, Michael Penix. Michael Penix, another one of those guys who analyzed my. So this man knows exactly what he's doing when he's pitching and has a plan. I think that's the thing when you look at the Atlanta Falcons. He has a plan, and his plan, we starting to see the plan. We starting to see how the players are responding. We starting to see how the players are responding to it. So I think that's the thing with this organization is that they're not just doing things. They're not just doing things without a plan and just randomly picking guys and only having a specific type of guy and a specific type of players and having guy that is here just to be do boys. And I think that's the thing. So looking at this Atlanta Falcons team, man, players want to be here. Coaches want to be here. And I'm like, we talked about this too, and we may go into detail as far as that is concerned, is that we got another coach that's at the facility, that's been at the facility and helping the Atlanta Falcons coaching staff defensively. And that dude is Steve Wilks. Y'all know Wilks, defensive coordinator, Carolina Panthers? Yeah. He's been at the Atlanta Falcons facility helping them defensively. So this is what I mean when we talk about there's a shift. There's a shift in what the Atlanta Falcons are doing. There's a shift in how players and coaches are looking at the Atlanta Falcons. This is not me being a fan and being over dramatic or overly excited. There's a shift in what the Atlanta Falcons are doing right now. And I think that's the thing. If you look at the Atlanta Falcons, there's a different type of energy, man. There's a different type of energy. There's a different type of energy. And I think that's what the Atlanta Falcons are really, okay? That's what makes them so exciting. So let me get in a few comments here. Dave says, I knew as soon as the report came out, the ranked facilities, I knew blank would immediately respond. I was up with Raheem Morris picks his Auntie Pam. Also, my son-in-law's very first press conference convinced me he is the right guy for the job. Like I said, I was right there with you. I was right there. Look, y'all can go back and see my response. Y'all can see my response about when we hired Ra. I was not okay with it. Look, I want somebody with a coaching pedigree, and I wanted somebody with respect. And at that moment in time, I wasn't trying to hear Raheem Morris and whether or not he had the respect or he had the players coach, because one of the reasons why I said I didn't really care about the player coach's reputation is this is exactly what Dan Quinn was. And Dan Quinn created that monster that we call Julio Jones. Yeah, he created that monster because he didn't allow this guy, he didn't force this guy to practice. He didn't force this guy to stay on the fucking field. Okay? It be crucial downs and Julio Jones is standing on the fucking sideline breathing, talking about he need Gatorade. And we saw that in crucial moments in the game. And then we wondering why we end up losing or we can't come back and say it's because Julio stand on the fucking sideline. And his coach said nothing about it, even when the media was like, okay, so what's going on, Julio? Why is he on the sideline in crucial moments? Well, Julio has this going on. Well, if Julio is hurt, like, y'all need to let it be known. So this is the reason why I was like, I was not trying to hear that player coach reputation, but the thing difference with Raheem Morris that I would say about Dan Quinn is that Dan Quinn, he doesn't hold these guys accountable on the field. Raheem Morris, from what I've seen so far, just so far, and what the reputation is, even from his days and with the Rams and with the Bucks, is that he hold these guys accountable on the field. Okay, that's the biggest thing. On the field, he holds these guys accountable on the field, and I think that's the biggest aspect of why I like Raheem Morris. Okay, he holds these guys accountable on the field. I don't give a damn if you're Julio Jones. I don't care if you're the greatest quarterback of all time. You're going to play in crucial moments. You're going to have to practice. You're going to have to do everything else that everyone else is doing. Compete. All right. And I think that's the thing that we're seeing with Raheem Morris, and that's the difference. And ultimately, like I said, in hindsight, he made the right decision. So, from what I understand, as far as Wilkes, he's not on he's not on the payroll, but he has been. I mean, every coach, like, you don't have to actually hire guys in order for those guys to be to kind of help give you ideas and whatnot. Like, guys can be independent and whatnot. But so as far as before, as far as I understand, as far as I know, is that we have guys coming in all the time. Like, we have guys like Terrence Masters, Chuck Smith. All these guys can come in and give your players and your team and your coaches, little tips and whatnot. So, like, we see this all the time. We see this is something that guys like OJ Santiago, a lot of the former greats, they come to the camp all the time, training camp, and sit with the players and talk with the players and say, hey, you might want to try this and try that. What a lot of people don't know, and this is me having a conversation, several conversations. People don't know that Chuck Smith was doing that. Yeah, Chuck Smith was doing that. That's why he has a job with Baltimore as a pass rush specialist down there, outside linebacker. That's why he's a pass rush specialist right now with the Baltimore Ravens, because he was doing that with the Atlanta Falcons. But y'all know what happened with that? Y'all know what happened with that? I want to see if anybody know what happened with Chuck Smith and the Atlanta Falcons. Anybody know that? Because I want to see if you guys, because I don't know if you heard him say this, but he definitely told us this behind the scenes. And he said this, if you listen to him, he had a show on 92.9 The Game where he went into detail a small bit, but he went in a little bit more detail with us off script. So I just want to see if anybody know that. Dre says Dan Quinn. Brian says Dan Quinn. So he said Dan Quinn. So that's exactly what happened. Dan Quinn got jealous of him because he was helping train guys like Grady Jarrett. He was helping train guys like Vic Beasley. And he ultimately, with Vic Beasley, he pretty much, told Vic Beasley, pretty much told him to stay away from the Atlanta Falcons training camp. Dan Quinn stopped. He started banning certain players to touch his players. He didn't want those guys to get outside help. So he pretty much told Chuck Smith, like, no, you stay away from my players. And then y'all wonder what happened and why the defense and the defensive line after 2016, that the numbers started to go down because of Dan Quinn. And that was the same issue even with Arthur Smith to a certain extent. Like Arthur Smith didn't want anyone touching his offense. I know that personally. Okay. I sat down with T. We sat down with T. Had a couple of cigars and whatnot with him, and we heard exactly what happened. But long before it happened, we already heard what was going on behind the scenes with Arthur Smith and his and the players around him, and the former players and coaches and stuff around. Arthur Smith did not want those guys to touch any of his players. And then we wondering why these guys always fail in epic purport. Like they always fail in epic ways. You have and that's a good point too, Brian. Like this right here. You had a quarterback coach. And TJ Yates. The Falcons didn't. They had 0 quarterback coaches. Okay, listen to this. This is why I always say. This is why I'm so emphatic on people leaving Desmond Ridder, Marcus Mariota, and all these guys alone. It's because this guy literally had 0 quarterback. He had 0, no quarterback coaches. The 2-3 years he's there with the Atlanta Falcons, he had no quarterback coach. He did not have a quarterback coaches all 3 years he was with the Atlanta Falcons. And then we wondering why Desmond Ridder, Marcus Mariota, and all these guys are struggling. You got a loser in Dave Ragone who's never did shit as a professional as your offensive coordinator. So you didn't even have a quarterback coach specifically designed for that particular guy. It was so many so many instances even on the sideline, and you can go back and you can watch it for yourself. How many times did you see someone on the sideline that wasn't named Matt Schaub? Okay, because he even threw Matt Schaub, told Matt Schaub to get it. He had Matt Schaub there as an analytical guy. So you hired Matt Schaub to come in to the organization, but you put this motherfucker in the organization as an analytical guy. What the fuck are we talking about? You got TJ Yates and Matt Schaub in the organization, and neither one of those guys are working with a fucking quarterback. But we sit up here wondering why Desmond Ridder and these guys, the wide receivers, aren't improving. The quarterbacks aren't improving. It's because these jackasses. This is exactly why the Atlanta Falcons offense under Arthur Smith did not improve. These guys stay stagnant. This is why we were 7-10, 7-10, 7-10, 3 straight years, because he never made the improvement to his staff. He wanted to be the reason as to why things. He wanted to be a center of attention. He wanted to be the reason why the Atlanta Falcons were a quote unquote a success, and not us, not we. It was his ego. It was Dan Quinn's ego. That's exactly why his ass got. This is exactly why Dan Quinn ass got fired. Went to Dallas. Thought he was a superhero in Dallas. Did that defense get better? I don't think the defense got better with Dallas. We saw them fail. Look, we saw the same thing with Dan Quinn with Dallas. Put up a bunch of sacks, put up a bunch of numbers, and then in crucial situations, his defense fall apart. because both of those guys wanted to be a center of attention, and they did not bring in coaches who was actually going to make things better. This is why guys like Brian Cox were fired. This is why guys like Richard Smith was fired. What's the other DB coach? But this is the reason why he was fired. He got rid of all those guys, and the defense got worse. You saw what Arthur Smith, he never made improvements to his offensive coaching staff. Everybody trying to figure out, like, we got all these coaches that's available for him to come in and help this offensive line, this wide receiving core. And he hired nobody for 3 years. You kept Dave Ragone. Marquand Manuel, that's his name. I always forget his name. Even Steve Sarkisian, when you saw Steve Sarkisian here, the offense actually put up some damn good numbers with Steve Sarkisian. But guess what he did? He made Steve Sarkisian the scapegoat. And now Steve Sarkisian, one of the best offensive minds in the college game right now. That man bounced back. He went to Alabama and then bounced back and got him a head coaching job. But we sit up here and made him the scapegoat. That man sit up there and made him the scapegoat. Why? Again, that goes right back to Dan Quinn and his ego, Arthur Smith and their ego. They never want guys to come in and help the situation better. No, Brian Cox, and look, as a person, I don't care about a guy personality. Look, I can give two shits about it. One thing I'll say about Brian Cox helped Vic Beasley get those 15 and a half sacks. He helped the Atlanta Falcons defense get 42 sacks in the Super Bowl year. He helped the Adrian Claibornes, the White Freeney, all these guys that was on that defense that helped us get to that Super Bowl. He helped that. I don't give a fuck about what people think. He's an asshole. He get the job done. I don't give a shit about none of that. He was the one that was able to keep your boy Rashid Hateman, who was a troubled kid growing up. He kept him in line and helped that Atlanta Falcon defense get us to a Super Bowl. He did that. He was the architect of that. So I don't give a damn about what people think about his personality, but that dude get results. He knows how to connect with players that are trouble. He knows how to get the most out of these defensive guys. That's the thing. That's the thing. What's wrong with that? We got these punk pussy ass coaches. They love to kiss everybody's ass, and they scared to say no. And this is why we got these Brandon Ayuk's, these CD Lambs, and all these guys up here begging for $30 million. And then when you don't get your fucking way, you want to whine and cry and go to social media and head to Shannon Sharp and say, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Fuck that. So I could give a shit about what Brian Cox is off the field if he's a jackass. Look, if he helps my defense become better, if he helps my defense play with more of an attitude, and he got to slap the shit out of Rashid Hateman to get the best out of Rashid Hateman, so fucking be it. I'm tired of these punk ass, pussy ass players that whine and cry because they not getting the extra $2 million. Kiss my natural black ass. Or caramel ass, whatever, goddamn. We got way too many punk ass players right here crying for millions of dollars, but they don't want to put forth the effort. And then you actually get a real good coach, and these coaches get outcast and fired because these whiny punk ass players Don't want to practice. I don't want to run, coach. My knee hurt. My ankle hurt. Oh, hell no. I ain't letting shit go. Why should I let a quitter? Why should I let a quitter in Julio Jones? He turned on his own players. Anybody seen anybody heard Roddy talk about that, man? Roddy refused to talk to Julio about that Julio situation. I'm just saying. Why should I? I ain't letting that shit go. I ain't letting this shit go. Why? Because the fans gave Julio everything. That man couldn't even say, "Hey, I thank the fans." That man gave that weak ass statement. Oh man. Oh. Guess what? I thank y'all for the time and with Atlanta, and that was it. Nigga, what? Are you serious? Yeah, I ain't letting that shit go at all. That man didn't even do nothing for his fans. He still has yet to even speak directly to his fans. Nah, I'm good. So Raheem also said the expectations haven't changed. Um, Obviously with that one, and then this is the one I want to kind of talk about too, which is the main topic. And I think this is kind of went over with my uh thing that stood out, three thing that stood out yesterday. And we talked about I kind of gave a preview on this, but I want to kind of get into this real quick before I um get you guys questions. Is that all right? Raheem Morris says the Atlanta Falcons want to come up with a way to get safeties. Okay, safeties. And I told you guys this. I told you so. I told you so. I told you guys that the Atlanta Falcons have been running three safety sets. Most of the NFL has been running three safety sets for the last 3 years. This is the norm. This is what happens when you have a league that is a passing league. This is exactly what you're going to get. You have to have three safeties in the game today. Look, we've been telling you guys this. This is exactly why you guys need to hit that subscribe button here at Atlanta Falcons Nation and Man Mike Sports 6 Man K Styles and Jew Talks. We've been telling y'all this. Look, let go. Everybody let go of your ego. I know I'm a jackass. I'm gonna let you hear it. But I'm not letting you hear it because I want to be a jackass. I want everybody to have the facts, the stats, and the truth. Because you're not going to get this from ESPN. You're not going to get the truth from ESPN. You're not going to get the truth from D-Led. These guys are going to, look, these guys are going to try to sell y'all a fucking dream. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you this. I've been telling you guys that this is where the NFL is going. I've been telling you it's going to be a lot of pre-snap, post-snap. I've been saying this for the last 3 years. I've been telling y'all this. That what you're saying with not only with the RPO, something that I did not like, and I told you guys from the beginning, I did not like this RPO stuff because it dumbed down the quarterback position, and quarterbacks tend to what? Not know how to run the offense properly. So the RPO has dumbed the game down, but it's also added what? Excitement. But this is where it was headed. So I'm down with it now. So now what quarterbacks have to do, you're going to start seeing this. And I said this time and time again. I said this even with my video last year. My video ran about Michael Penix. I said last year. The thing with Michael Penix and with quarterbacks like him is that with the RPO, it get the ball out of their hands quick. But the thing is with that, these guys don't know how to read defenses. And this is the reason why Michael Penix is sitting for the first year and possibly the second year. This is why Jordan Love and these quarterbacks are sitting. This is why guys like Justin Fields has not progressed as a quarterback. It's because he never learned how to read the defense. Chicago threw him out there, but he did it to himself by running to athlete youth for money. Justin Fields killed his own career because he ran to Ohio State because he wanted money. He wanted a couple $1 million. Him and his father ruined his career because he ran to athlete youth. All he had to do, if he wanted longevity, if he wanted to be a great quarterback, stay at the University of Georgia and learn how to be a quarterback. This is exactly what you're saying with Carson Beck. That dude stayed there at Georgia for 2 years. Learn how to be a quarterback. When he got his opportunity after Stetson Bennett left, guess what? Turned into a fucking champion. He turned into one of the best fucking quarterbacks in college football right now. Why? Because he took his fucking time. He learned the position. Okay, let me say it again. He learned the position. And now Carson Beck has potential to be a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Why? Because he took his time to learn the fucking position. And now he could be one of the better quarterbacks coming out. Why? Because he was patient. He's learning the position. So if you guys have sons, daughters, cousins, little kids that you coaching, tell these guys to be patient. Yes, money is cool. Having these NIL deals, like, that's cool. You can set yourself up for years. But if you want to be great, if you want to be a legend in the game, and you feel like you can make it to the NFL, tell these kids to be patient. Because all these recruiters they want you to just come in so they can make millions of dollars off of you. They don't give a shit about these players. They'll give you $1 million because guess what? They're going to make $100 million off of you. And that's exactly what happened to Justin Fields. Yeah, Justin Fields got a couple $1 million off of going to Ohio State. But he lost his career. He sucks as a quarterback. And now he's now he's sitting where? In Pittsburgh, learning how to be a punt returner, learning how to be a quarterback over and over again because Chicago gave up on him. So this is why the NFL is going to these 3 safety positions like this, and this is why you saw the Atlanta Falcons. And like I said, this has been the case for years now. This has been the case for years. Richie Grant been here 3 years. And we've had 3 safeties. We've had 3 safeties, even going back when we had Dean Pease. Dean Pease knew that. He knew all this. So this is why I say it's like we got to be patient. Look, I know Richie Grant has his faults. Hitman Hillams has his fault, even coming out of college with Hitman Hillams. DeMarco Hillams. Like, even with him coming out, Alabama fans were trying to tell us that he was trash. Am I wrong with Alabama fans? Because I know a few of them in here. A lot of Alabama fans were telling me that Hitman Hillams was trash. And when he got to Atlanta Falcons, he started to impress guys like Dean Pease. He started to impress this guy, Ryan Nielsen. He won these guys over. Same thing with Richie Grant. It's like he won these guys over. So the NFL, you're going to continuously see a lot of 3 safety looks. And Raheem Morris even talked about this in the press conference today about how he's going to integrate 3 safety looks into the defense and try to get these guys in on the game as much as possible, because this is where the game is headed. You got to have 3 safety. You got to have 2 safeties in the NFL right now. You got to have more safety than you actually got to have corner. Let me say that again. You have to have more safeties than you actually have corner. Quality safeties on your team, then you got to have more corners. I know that sounds like completely asinine and totally against what we've been taught for years, but this is the way the NFL is going. When you have the RPO system, when everything and all football is pretty much been thrown in the middle of the defense. This is why guys like Puka, how the hell did he say his name? Puka Nacua. Like, this is why guys like this end up becoming great receivers, is because they attack the middle of the field. This is why running backs like Bijan Robinson are being drafted, because these guys can catch the ball in the middle of the field. So if you don't have safeties that can not only cover these guys in the middle of the field, but tackle well in the middle of the field, you're going to get abused. And this is exactly why I said time and time again this year, and it's the fake right now. You can go right on Mad Mike Sports. This is why I have the video, the feature video in there of Kyle Pitts. And I said this all year. I've been saying this all year. If the Atlanta Falcons can get Kyle Pitts back to health, to regain his confidence, this offense is going to be damn near impossible. Because now you got 3 guys you got to worry about in the middle of the field: Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and Drake London. All 3 of those guys are insane in the middle of the field. We already seen what Bijan can do with the ball in his hand in the middle of the field. We already see what Kyle Pitts can do. We know what Drake can do. Drake is a fucking monster. He's a monster ready to be unleashed. So we already know what he can do. So this is another one of the reasons why the Atlanta Falcons went out and got a Justin Simmons. This is why Justin Simmons, he understands this now. This is because guess what? Now he got 2 guys that he can count on, 3 guys that he can count on. He can get some rest and let Richie Grant come in. He can rely on Jessie Bates to help him, so he doesn't have to be, he can be a little bit more aggressive. And then he got one of the best corners in the league, in AJ Terrell. So he got 3 guys that he can count on them now. So that can make Justin Simmons even that much better. This is why he came to the Atlanta Falcons. And I haven't even got to the pass rush and Matthew Judon. So like I said, this team is set up properly. And like I said, this is why I always tell people, just be patient with Richie. Okay? Richie gonna make a lot of mistakes. Clark Phillips, these guys are gonna make a lot of mistakes. D. Alford, they're gonna make a lot of mistakes. But when you got guys like Jessie Bates and now a Matthew Judon who can get after the quarterback, like, are we really going to need Richie Grant to cover for 4 or 5 seconds? No. Because you can get after the quarterback. So this is why having 3 safeties right now, and all those guys have the capability of being a safety. And like I said before, you can say what you want about Richie Grant, but this dude, look, it ain't many safeties in the league that can give you 80, 90 tackles in it. Okay? It ain't many safeties in the league that can get you 100, 120 tackles in a season like Richie. Richie is a quality safety. Chances are he'll never be an all-pro, but he's a quality safety. And we've seen quality safeties like guys like Rico Allen. These guys he'll probably never be a Pro Bowl. But these are quality safeties that you can get quality play from. We already have a Jessie Bates. So we just need guys to do their fucking job. All we need is Richie Grant to do two things: cover the tight end, tackle, and that's it. And cover the running back out of the backfield. Look, if you looking for Richie Grant to get 6-7 interceptions, well, you got the problem. Because that's never been his game. You got the problem if you looking for Richie Grant to get 6 interceptions. He's never been Jessie Bates. He's never going to be let's just say Ed Reed. He's never going to be these guys. You putting unrealistic expectations on guys that they've never been and they're never gonna be. This man said Vince Young of Justin Fields. Look, at least Vince Young can throw it to the right goddamn receiver and not a fucking goalpost. He up here goddamn throwing deep passes like he throwing a goddamn Goliath or something. Y'all see that bullshit? That motherfucker threw the ball in the air by 20 feet in the air. Motherfucker, he's not fucking Goliath. And then you got these Justin Field fanatics up here talking about, well, the wide receiver slow down. Motherfucker, he trying to figure out who the fuck he throwing to. That's why he's slowing down. Motherfucker got a clean pocket and still threw that bitch 20 feet in the damn air. The fuck are we talking about? They don't want to come at me. Oh, Mike, you just don't want to hear the truth. Motherfucker, I know the truth. My eyes, look, I got some of the biggest eyes in the fucking world. Y'all know that. I know what the fuck I saw. And look, I know that wide receiver wasn't no goddamn 12 feet tall. I know that. But if and I've said this time and time again, how you gonna get the best out of Justin Fields? Do two things with him. You got to do two things with him. Do not allow him to throw the ball deep. Okay? Don't allow him to throw the ball deep. He needs to focus on throwing the ball short. Justin Fields get himself in trouble when he think he can throw the ball 900 yards. He get way overexcited. He got way too much adrenaline. So if you allow him to just check the ball down, bootleg out, okay, use his athleticism, boot out, check the ball down, and get the ball out of his hand quick. Because the more that Justin Fields holds onto the ball, the more excited he gets, and the more he's gonna make them dumbass throws that we saw against fourth stringers. This motherfucker out here throwing ball 20 feet in the air to fourth stringers, playing against fourth stringers. So this is how you get the best out of a Justin Fields. Check the ball down, use his athleticism, be able to bootleg out, restrict his passing lanes to about 15 yards. It doesn't anything over 15 yards, he doesn't need to be throwing. You can still showcase your strong arm within those 15 yards. Because if you know anything about the game of football anyway, most throws are within that 20-yard radius anyway. So a lot of quarterbacks don't even throw. You may get like 4 deep passes in a game consistently anyway. So rarely does a quarterback in the game give you 4 passes 20 yards deep anyway. So you're not going to do it. So again, how you gonna get the most out of him? Check the ball down, boot him out, and that's it. Focus on that. That's how you gonna get the best out of him. But we got all these offensive coordinators that get so excited about what he is and what he can do. Y'all be trying to throw the ball 80 yards and shit. And that's when you mess up his mentality. You trying to convince him that he's really that dude and he really ain't. Zach Robinson is smart enough. He's a former quarterback. He's a spread quarterback. So, and he uses a lot of pre-snap, post-snap motion. So, him probably being in the booth is probably what's best because he's going to be able to see. That's why you have quarterback coaches and assistant quarterback coaches that actually be on the field. You really don't need your offense coordinator to be on the field. But more than likely, Zach could probably be in the booth because he uses a lot of pre-snap, post-snap. So he got to be able to see the effect of his pre-snap, post-snap motions. See, a guy like Andy Reid has been doing it for damn near 30 years, so he can see the small effects while he's standing on the field because he has the experience. He knows what he's looking for. He can see the subtle movements as far as like the defense is doing and how they're reacting to certain things long before. So with Andy Reid, you can put him on the sideline. Guys, a young guy like Zach Robinson, I think he needs to be sitting in the booth so he can kind of see things. I know Millie Man. Look, I'm just trying to tell you how the best way to to get that man to get some confidence. Because the thing is, like he got confidence in his legs, but the thing is, he ain't got confidence in doing anything else. He can't. Like they got this man returning kicks, catching passes out of the backfield. Like the fuck are we talking about? You got the nerve to say he gonna win the number one job over Russ. Like, you fucking kidding me? Like, you telling me that this man gonna win the starting job from Russell Wilson, and he can't even he out here catching passes? Are we like you like these people, these analysts, these dub claimants, these Justin Fields fans want to sit with a straight face and tell me that he's going to take Russell Wilson's job and he's out here catching passes. I don't see Russell Wilson catching passes, okay? That's Justin Fields. And you're trying to tell me with a straight face that this man going to take his job. Man, that's the same bullshit that y'all said with Justin Fields, that the Falcons are going to trade for him, and pay him $200 million. Look, y'all got to stop lying to yourself about Justin Fields and quarterbacks like him. These quarterbacks needs help. These quarterbacks need to be developed properly because this RPO shit is not helping the game. It's making the game more exciting. It's making the game and the wide receivers, running backs, offensive linemen, like that you're help creating more of them stars, but as far as the quarterback position, it's destroying the quarterback position. It's killing the quarterback positions. And I want to sing another song too. I remember when I told y'all that, and John, I know you remember this because we actually had a conversation about it. I told y'all about whom? It's a certain quarterback went to a certain school, and I told you guys, and I made a video on this. I said this man has NFL talent, and I think the Falcons should take a look at him and really groom him to be a quarterback. And now we see on social media that same guy, that same quarterback, that's being groomed by a certain head coach that used to coach in our division. Anybody want to take a wild guess who that quarterback is? Mm-hmm. Yep. Bo motherfucking Nix. Yeah. Matt Mike told y'all about that. Everybody thought I was crazy. Y'all said he was trash and the Falcons shouldn't even take no look at him. I told y'all. When it comes down to the quarterback position, this is exactly why you need to be hitting that subscribe button right here. I've been telling y'all this. Bo Nix out here making incredible throws. He's slowing Bo Nix down. He's giving him a few reads, and Bo is slinging that motherfucker. This is what happens when you meet talent with coach, talent with coach, talent with coach. I told you guys that this man had the NFL talent, that this dude was going to make a good NFL quarterback, and that a coach was going to see something in him. Not saying he's going to be an MVP or anything, but you see that this guy had the fucking talent. Oh, look, I know what everybody was bitching about, but they were dead ass wrong. Even Bo Nix was playing well at Auburn. The thing is, he kept trying to do too much and kept fumbling and throwing interceptions at the wrong time. But he even at Auburn, he had the ability. Like I said, he got better every year since leaving Auburn. So again, if you find the talent and you put that talent with coaching, again, if you put talent with the proper coaching, a guy um like you put him with the proper coach, and like I said, this ain't nothing new. When you put a motherfucker like a quarterback guy like Sean Payton, with a talented quarterback, we've seen time and time again. Sean Payton has made a couple of at least three good quarterbacks, and one of them is a Hall of Famer. I wanted Bo. He was a bad Oregon and Ole Miss on my college teams. I was saying Bo before. And no surprise. Look, one thing I do, because I've been taught that position, played that position, I know about that quarterback position. So, like I said before, no surprise to me why this man is playing well right now. And granted, like I said, it still is the preseason. Defenses are still gonna try to mix things up to try to confuse them. But like that's again, this is what coaching comes in the hand. Prepare him from these different looks. Learn how to slow him down when his head is, is spinning. Like this is what coaches do. If you know Sean Payton, when a quarterback is kind of out of the loop a bit, what he does, he always asks the quarterback to do one thing: check the ball down to their running back to cool him down, calm him down. And once he's calmed down, he's cooled down. That's when he opens it up and he lets it loose. Sean Payton been doing this for years. It's not rocket science with coach with play calling. If you look at Drew Brees' entire career, that's what they did. He checked the ball down to goddamn them tight ends and running backs more than he actually threw. And when he got into a rhythm, that's when he opened the ball. That's when he opened things up and threw to guys like Thomas, threw to guys like Marcus Colston. But like their whole passing game was predicated at getting the ball out of his hands into his playmakers, into those running backs, into those tight ends' hands. Bo Nix example of someone willing to be educated, wasn't big on him when he got to Oregon. And like I said, that's like this is what coaches do. This is what smart players do. Bo Nix was smart. He was not Justin Fields, where he was looking to get a paycheck. See, Justin Fields was only worried about getting a paycheck. Because if he was smart, he would have never took his stupid ass to Ohio State. Like, why would any quarterback? Why would any quarterback with talent go to Ohio State? There's only been one quarterback at this particular time, and that's CJ. That's actually been anything coming out of Ohio State. So the worst thing that any quarterback could do, I tell you, don't take your ass to Ohio State. If you actually want to be a quarterback, don't take your ass to Ohio State. And a lot of people not gonna like what I say about CJ either. It's like you got to give me more than one good year. I don't seen this before. I don't seen this a quarterback had 1 year, 2 good years, and they fall down to earth. Look, you got to be consistent. Quarterback position is about consistency, not having one good year and then you fall off. Because we seen that with Deshaun Watson. That man done had a couple good years, and then he went to Cleveland, and he can't stay. He can't stay. He can't stay healthy. We see it with Freeman, not Freeman. Why am I thinking Josh Freeman? But the quarterback that's with him now, Mr. Crab Legs. Like we seeing that Mr. Crab Legs have a handful of good season, and he returned back to earth. We see it. We see this time and time again with quarterbacks. They end up, not being what they think or we thought. It's like you got to give me more than 1 year of success. And everybody else, CJ Stroud played well in the regular season, but soon he got to the playoffs and he played with quality defenses and real defense. He didn't look so good. But we see that time and time again where these players, these quarterbacks end up playing. I'm not one of those guys that jump on the bandwagon because the guy had one good year. They didn't do that for Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan had to prove his. So like I said before, um, this Falcons defense is going to have a 3 safety rotation like they've had for the last 2-3 years with Jessie Bates, Simmons, as well as Richie Grant. So it's no surprise to me that these guys are still here. But what I'm focusing more on is a guy like Matthew Judon is going to be able to consistently give us pass rush on the edge. And I think Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, these guys are going to eat. These guys definitely going to eat. So just got to be patient. Let these guys get these guys time to actually, to prove. Like they got to improve. Like we don't even give these guys time to improve. We just want to say if it ain't happening in 1 year and 2 years, let's throw them away. Give these guys time to prove themselves. As far as Jermaine, I don't know how long. Still has yet to be determined how long Helms will be out. I would suggest somewhere between 8 to 12. Yeah, I say like 8 to 12 games. They said he may not be out for the season. All I know is a ankle injury, a foot injury, something like that. Playing on that terrible field in Miami. And thank God the Falcons made it out of Baltimore because that field is no better than what we saw it in Miami. So George Texas boy feels look like a faster Ritter. I mean, that's what he is. Like Ritter is a better passer than Fields, but when you got a foot fetish like most of these damn Justin Fields fans, y'all don't pay attention to what he's doing throwing the ball. Ritter is a better passer than Justin Fields, and that's saying a lot. But guess what these Fields fans? Well, man, he had Kyle Pitts, he had Bijan Robinson. Well, didn't they have one of the better wide receivers? They had Mooney. We got Mooney. They had DJ Moore, so all of a sudden DJ Moore ain't worth a damn. So, like I said, man, like with this. So OG Sam about to go on live. So head over to Mad Mike Network, OGN TV, and get the second part of this afternoon. I believe he's already started, but Falcon did in fact cut James Washington. So with that being said, man, this is your boy Mad Mike. You're gonna continue to get Mad Mike in the morning. If you guys enjoy this, spread the word, man. Mad Mike in the morning. All right. So that being said, I'm out of here. Appreciate it. Peace. Mad Mike Network. Head over to Mad Mike Network for more Falcons football talk. Sam about to go in detail about this Falcons defense. So, like I said before, man, appreciate it. Love you guys for all the support of our brand and what we believe in over here. Like I said, end of the day, you don't have to agree with everything that we say, but we appreciate the we appreciate the conversation. Nothing is never personal unless you make it personal, and then we will finish it. We'd rather pray for you than pray on you. That's all I got to say about that. Your boy, man, Mike is out of here, man. Deuces.
Put your eyes back in your head.
Like flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The Unholy Alliance has arrived.